Hello and welcome to my Elden Ring Estoc only rangeless no buff icons slash buffs slash skills slash affinity slash FP midroll only no hit no damage run. Now I guess I could start off by just sort of explaining like each of the restrictions. Just like Estoc only means that I'm only allowed to damage enemies with the Estoc and nothing else. There's some like particular like special cases of that and like the technical rules, but just like for me personally, I'm not allowed to damage any enemy whatsoever without, unless I'm using the Estoc, right? And then the rangeless restriction just means that I'm like doing like melee attacks only. I'm not allowed to like throw anything or like use bows or like spells or just anything at all that like has like a ranged component to it. It's just like if I do any action, it needs to be like melee based, like without being a ranged attack basically. So like I'm not even allowed to throw like knives or kukri at walls to distract enemies because like I'm not allowed to use any ranged anything, right? And then the next restriction is no buff icons, so that just means that like anything, like any item in my inventory that puts a buff icon underneath my stamina bar in the top left corner of the screen, like none of that is allowed. So yeah, that includes like talismans and other like static buffs like that, but then it also includes like temporary buffs, things that have like a diamond-shaped icon under the stamina bar, like those aren't allowed either. Later on in the and like that only goes for like icons and such that come from items in my inventory, because like occasionally there'll be an icon there that doesn't come from something in my inventory, stuff like the Stakes of Marika or the sometimes there are like there's like a icon underneath there that basically means you can't like warp out. You can't like that doesn't come from something in your inventory, so that's fine. And then finally there's like the golden leaf buff that just comes from leaves falling in the environment, so like that doesn't come from something in my inventory, so that's fine because I can't really control that at all. Okay, and then no buffs just means that I'm not allowed to like buff the Estoc with anything, like I'm not allowed to put magic grease on it or like bleed grease or use like any spell that puts a weapon buff on my Estoc, so like no buffs like that. And then no skills just means like no Ashes of War or like, you know, that kind of thing. You know, like the impaling thrust on the screen there, like I'm not allowed to use that ever. Or any other weapon skill like that. And then, yeah, no affinity just means that for the Estoc, I'm not allowed to change the like affinity or like infusion on it if you're a Dark Souls 3 player. So like it just has to be the standard affinity that it comes with, like no dexterity or keen scaling or heavy like strength scaling or any of the other ones like bleed affinity, lightning infusion, or just like any of that kind of stuff. You're not allowed to use any of that. And then the FP just means like I'm not allowed to lose FP at any point in the run. And I added this restriction because there's like a couple items, or I guess there's one item in particular that called like the Mimic's Veil, where it basically functions like the Young White Branch in Dark Souls 3, where if you use it, you like basically turn into like a prop from the environment, and then that lets you sneak past things like as a prop or like as a piece of decoration instead of like a player. So like it just it's basically just like a stealth tool. But I don't want to like use that for anything, so I also added like no FP, and then yeah, using the Mimic's Veil costs some FP, so like putting the restriction in for no FP also eliminates the use of that item. So basically what we're left with at the end of all of these restrictions is that I can use the Estoc, and I basically can't use like any other item. Essentially, I can use Torrent because like you're getting through the game without Torrent, the horses. That would be very boring, to say the least. And then I'm also allowed to use the Memory of Grace item just to bone out of things if I want to, or yeah, for whatever reason. Like I mostly just use it for a couple like convenience strats, which you'll see, because I use it twice during the run, so that it's mostly just for convenience. And then yeah, after that, mid-roll only just means that I'm not allowed to like roll or backstep, or I guess like quick step or bloodhound step, although that's not really applicable in this run. But I'm not allowed to do like any of those actions while I'm light loaded, right? So you saw that I was light load at the beginning of the game, right after I got through the very first door. But like I do Grafted Scion no roll, so like I didn't roll at all at any point, so that's fine. And then after I get Grafted Scion's shield, I equip that, so just so that I'm like mid-load for the rest of the run. And then yeah, from here on I can roll as I please because I'm mid-load. But yeah, I'm not allowed to do any light rolls basically. Is that what that? That's what that one means. But yeah, getting through Grafted Scion is over has been clear for a couple minutes. And we just make our way over to this grace to get Torrent from Melina here, just kind of your standard opener kind of thing. And yeah, I guess I could talk more about the choice of the Estoc. I chose it mostly because there's like this one boss that is very tricky to deal with if you don't have a thrusting sword. So like the boss we're concerned with is mostly Gideon. He's like close to the end of the run. He's an NPC boss, and like the basic strat on him, like if you can't use like any special strategies to like cheese him, you basically have to fight him straight up. And like the best way to do that is with a thrusting sword. You can kind of do it with other weapons and stuff. Like there are safe punishes, but it's way easier to basically just like stun lock him with a thrusting sword. And you can use basically any thrusting sword for this. But like the Estoc is nice because you can spawn with it at the beginning of the game with the prisoner starting class, which is what I've started with. So that sort of convenience really just makes Estoc the obvious choice there. And then here, since I'm not allowed to like pick up any buffs or things of that nature, at the beginning of the run, normally in no-hit runs for Elden Ring, you do like a rather lengthy like setup phase where you just gather a bunch of buffs and items and just things you need throughout the run that you're going to use. But since I've basically restricted myself to not use hardly anything, at the beginning here I just spent a couple minutes getting a few like smithing stones. Like here I just buy some smithing stones from the merchant there, and then here I'm gonna go upgrade the Estoc to +2. So that's basically like the first order of business after Grafted Scion there. Because yeah, like although I can't like equip and like use other items than the Estoc, I can still use like smithing stones and like sell stuff to Kale and everything to upgrade my weapon and all that. And of course I can still level up and all that. And this like restriction set basically gives me what I like to call like medium damage, right? Because like I'm not allowed to use any buffs, so like that makes my damage a bit lower, but I'm also allowed to upgrade my weapon because like another popular category or like restriction is like no upgrades, which like really cuts your damage down. But like I think what I've done here is like a happy middle where like I'm not doing insane damage like with buffs and everything, but I'm not going down to like no upgrades level where it's like really low damage. Like it's a nice medium. So like the fights aren't crazy long, but they're still like challenging, and I still need to know how to deal with the bosses really well. But yeah, here I think this is the last thing we do before we fight Margit. Here we just get like a couple more smithing stones from this statue here. And this is a strat I've been using for a long time. I think since because I ran all remembrances for a while last year, and I think I used this in that run. You basically just bait this troll to destroy the statue, and you can grab the stones, and then you can, yeah, Memory of Grace out. Like that's one of the items we're allowed to use with this restriction set. And then yeah, that basically just lets you like teleport away even during combat, but you lose all your runes, right? So that makes it kind of like fair, quote unquote, and it's mostly just like a convenience thing. I'm not like I like restricting myself to like make the game like more interesting and fun, but like I guess I could do this one without Memory of Grace. It would just be like a little bit more annoying to do, to like because I won't be able to gather as many upgrade materials quite as easily. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we're going to Margit now. So yeah, the setup here is quite short. I think, yeah, we just hit 10 minutes. And I guess for syncing purposes, we hit 10:07 now. Or no, sorry. We hit 10:15 now. Okay, whatever. We'll sync it up later. But yeah, like only 10 minutes into the run, we're already fighting Margit, so that's nice. We don't have to go through like 30, 40, 50, an hour of setup or anything. Like it's a somewhat fast-paced run. Yeah, this is just the personal way I like fighting Margit. Normally with most weapons in Elden Ring, you'll find people doing a lot of like charged R2s. But I found with the Estoc, the damage per second of the R1s is way higher than the charge R2s with the Estoc and like probably thrusting swords in general. So for a lot of like different bosses and punishes, I'll tend to use R1s, at least like in certain points. Sometimes charge R2s are still useful, but by and large, you'll see me doing a lot of R1s in this run. And yeah, for phase 2, he has like the fast golden sword combo, and then also the double daggers in both phase 1 and 2. So like you'll see me, I kind of wait at like medium range here, just so that if he does the golden sword combo, I can just roll it back and not be too bothered by it. It does make the fight a bit slower. If you're really good at this fight and you practice like being more, like there are ways to be more aggressive than this, but this is just a nice way to fight him kind of comfortably while still not being like crazy slow. Like I take the punishes he gives me, but just if he gets away or anything like that, I'll just wait at medium range so that I can roll backwards on the golden sword combo and also the double daggers. Because of course with mid roll and all that, if you like wait really close to Margit and he does the double daggers, you can and you roll backwards, you get hit by the daggers. You can like I kind of implied before, you can differentiate between the double daggers and the golden sword combo. It's just like a really fast read, and I never like practiced that, so I just do the mid-range strat to just make it a lot simpler. And then there we just grab one more smithing stone from up there after Margit, and then sit down to have Melina take us to the round table hold, and then there I think we upgrade the Estoc to +4 if I recall correctly. And then we do, at least I like to do the slow version of Stormveil. It's just kind of what I've always done, so I'm like really used to it at this point. You can like go through the fast Stormveil path with this, but since you can't use like a bow or like a gambit or like Assassin's Gambit or anything, there is like a bit of RNG to that, and I've just never, like I don't want to deal with that RNG ever, but also I've just never practiced like fast Stormveil in the first place. It's just not what I've spent my time doing. Yeah, there we go. So like we're not allowed to use the the golden runes ourselves, because like that's like a consumable, or actually I always forget it. I don't think no consumables is technically a part of the restriction set, but I think at the time I decided that no consumables was part of the restriction set, but I don't know, like since this run is so restricted, you can kind of like use different restrictions to define like the same outcomes. So like one way to define this is like no consumables, but I think more recently I've started to go with like no buffs, because it's a bit more descriptive. But anyway, we sell the golden runes instead of using them for whatever reason. And then yeah, once we have the +4, we come here and clear these guys out. This is a pretty comfy strat, I think, after practicing it for a while. You have to like deal with that one exile soldier's attack, or like you have to dodge like one attack in order to get like a safe punish off that you might have seen there. And then after that, these guys, since there's like 2 of them and they both throw fire bombs at you, it's kind of tough to deal with if you don't take it slowly. Like if you just run straight through and like try to dodge their stuff, like it usually goes okay. But I want this run to be Like, I want it, like, I don't like resetting, so I want every strat to be, like, actually consistent and at least, like, somewhat comfy. Like, at least, like, if you practice it enough, it'll eventually be comfy. So yeah, I came up with this strat to just trigger them to attack you, and then if you wait behind here, usually only one of them comes down. Like, in rare cases, they'll both come down, but one of them will be way behind the other, so that you can still kill this one guy safely, even if they both come down. But yeah, usually only one of them comes down, and then, yeah, you can run past here. Sometimes, yeah, we usually throw a firebomb, or like a fire pot, but it'll miss you if you take the right path and kill him, and sometimes this guy doesn't, sometimes that guy doesn't throw anything, and you can just run on through. And so, yeah, since that guy is alone, you can just kind of, you can run through, you can also, like, bait him to throw a fire pot, and then use that time to approach him a bit more safely. But yeah, anyway, now we're here with the Banished Knight, and since I took this path for my first any percent, and I also took it for the Elden, or not the Elden Ring, the All Remembrances run I was doing last year. I have a lot of experience fighting these like shield Banished Knights, so this was fine. So yeah, just fight him, take the Rusty Key, head on out. What is it? There are a few punishes you can get. I mostly only go for like the backstab punishes on the Banished Knights there. That's just like how I like to do it. But yeah, they're not too bad to fight once you've practiced them enough, of course. And then here for this guy, he like comes and tries to grab you. I just run past him, and then to do two R2s, I could like lock on, I guess, and just do a couple R1s, but the R2s with the Estoc are nice because like they're kind of sweeping, and like they cover a larger area rather than just the R1 pokes that are like thin, because you know pokes are thin. So I use that so I don't have to like lock on or like aim them like precisely or anything. I can just do 2 tap R2s and not worry too much about aiming very precisely. Then here, just take the path I always take. Oh, and I think up here I make a little mistake. You see me a lot of the time when I'm like falling down, I'll do like a jumping R1 in the air. But you're not supposed to do that here because, yeah, if you like hit a wall or anything, these guys see you. And I guess this isn't like technically dangerous because you can like if you accidentally do this R1, then you can just wait back here and wait until they de-aggro. But yeah, I just forgot that I'm not supposed to do a jumping R1 there, and I like considered warping out just in case, but I would have to like go back pretty far, so I decided to just wait since it seemed like they weren't coming after me anyway. But yeah, once they de-aggro, it's fine. Anyway, that was just sort of a mistake there, so that, you know, wasted like a minute or something. I'm not really sure. But in any case, yeah, we're past those guys. If you don't do the jumping R1 and you just like fall down without doing anything, then these guys don't notice you. And you can even like sprint past them here. They don't hear you, so it's fine. But then once you're here, at least like my strat is to wait for this first guy to walk onto this little bridge for a while, just to kind of like separate him from the other guy, because like in general you don't want to deal with 2 enemies at the same time. Unless you're sort of forced to, like with Godskin Duo, but like, you know, Godskin Duo is something you practice a lot, but I don't really want to spend time like practicing every like trash mob duo or whatever just to make it like 100% consistent. So I'd rather just bait one out and then kill him, and then yeah, kill the other guy separately. And then let's see what path I take here. Yeah, I sneak through that, like up these stairs here, because there was one time. Normally, like, just, like, sprinting up those little bit of stairs back there works, but there was one time that the dog there saw me and then, like, followed me into this elevator room, and that kind of ruined my day, and I got hit, obviously. So now we just, like, sneak up the stairs just to be absolutely sure that the dog doesn't see us. It was like, the only time the dog ever saw me in, like, I don't know, like, 100 times doing this over the course of my career, but yeah, anyway, Sometimes you see things you've never seen before, and you have to change your strategy even after doing it for a long time. That's just something that happens occasionally. But yeah, here we grab this grace, and then we pick up some more smithing stones upcoming here. I call it like this next little section, I call it like the secret window area. It's because like what is it? I played Elden Ring for like, I probably played Elden Ring for like a year before I knew that you could get up here. Like I just call this the secret window. And then here we like hit the wall there to trigger like the troll and the exile soldiers below to investigate that sound, because otherwise they'll like aggro onto you if you jump down without distracting them first, which you're able to run away and hide in Nefeli's room, but that just wastes a whole bunch of time, and if you just hit the wall a couple times, then you can sneak by without them noticing because they're distracted by the sound. But anyway, we only come down here to pick up this extra smithing stone too. Yeah, I think it is. Then here we get Estoc +5. I could just fight Godrick with a +4 honestly, but I mean if I have the resources for +5 now, I might as well. It probably doesn't really make much of a difference either way, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, there's +5, and we should just go right back to Godrick here. But yeah, a big part of this run is just like I wanted to show that you can get through Elden Ring without using like any special builds or like crazy overpowered items or things of that nature. Just because like for most like no-hit runs in Elden Ring, like you're basically trying to make the run as easy as possible. Like that's how like the meta develops, is just trying to do everything as easily as possible. But anyway, I just wanted to show that you can kind of go through everything with just a sword and like really nothing else, and just kind of fight everything and still have the run be consistent, and anyway that just that this sort of thing is possible. Because there's a lot of people that, I mean, probably like most everybody who runs Elden Ring will complain about the setup, right? That you just kind of ride around on Torrent for like 40 minutes to an hour. But I knew that something like this was possible, and I just wanted to show people, because like for a long time, like I've known how to fight all the bosses. Like I've seen strats from people who do challenge kills on all of the any % bosses and the remembrance bosses and such. And I just wanted to show that you can go through the game without crazy setup or builds or anything like that. But anyway, here we're just fighting Godrick, and here's his trash fire attack, and you can just like, when he does this trash fire attack, you can kind of just wait right up against him, and that's consistent, but occasionally his fire will bounce off something in the environment and then come back to hit you, in which case you will get hit. So like like standing in front of him for that attack is consistent if the fire doesn't bounce off something, but it can be really hard to like know if the fire is going to bounce off anything. So I think I only used this strat for like a couple weeks, because I think today, or like the day I did this run, might have been like the first day I actually did it in a run, and then I used it for I think a couple weeks after that, because I continued to like run Elden Ring, like, because I'm trying to do the all remembrances version of this run right now. But yeah, anyway, I stopped doing that strat just because like I got hit once during it, or doing it, and like I said, it's hard to know for sure if the fire is going to bounce off anything, so I stopped doing it. I just do like a strat where you just run away, and that strat is fine if he only does it once, because like you can get like really far away and then the fire is not really any danger. But if he does that move twice in a row and then you kind of run out of space because of that, then you're probably cooked, but anyway, that's usually a pretty rare situation. And in any case, we do Godrick fairly early, so it's not like a huge deal, and it's pretty rare in any case. But moving on, we're going into Liurnia now after beating Godrick. Just check the in-game time real quick. And yeah, here we gotta pick up a few more smithing stones. That'll be like mostly what we do in between boss fights. So just picking up a couple smithing stones and then just trying to get to the next area since I don't really need to pick up much else besides smithing stones. Oh, and then I should also mention that this run is region locked. Technically, I didn't like plan on it being region locked, but just sort of the way I routed it ended up being region locked, so I guess I'll submit it as a region locked run. Because normally you do like Godrick and then either like Rykard or Radagon mostly, but I chose to do Rennala just because she's different, and like if I did Radagon, like it would have also been fine, but he's not a very interesting boss for runs usually, just because he dies so quickly. But on the other hand, like Rennala is like she's like a very different and like very challenging fight. So that was very interesting to learn how to fight her properly or like consistently. Because yeah, like I said before, I'm also doing the All Remembrances version of this run, and I planned on doing that from the beginning. Or at least like at some point I planned on doing it. So for this run, I wanted to do Rennala just to get some like practice on her before doing the All Remembrances run, and I think it worked out because nowadays she's a fairly consistent fight. I don't need to worry like so much about I still have to focus a lot and make sure not to do anything. Like she's still a difficult fight, but if I play it right and play it patiently, it's pretty consistent. Yeah, there we saw again, picking up more smithing stones. Then here, yeah, in order to get into the academy to fight Red Wolf and Rennala, we'll get the academy gate key here. Then after that, we'll go to the Crystalline Woods to pick up another set of smithing stones. Oh, we don't. Oh, okay, sorry, I misremembered. In my All Remembrances run, I changed the route a bit to pick up more smithing stones early on, or like pick up more smithing stones before Red Wolf. But yeah, for the 90% version, I just go into Red Wolf with a +7 Estoc, so I don't pick up quite as many smithing stones. Let's see, is there anything else I should mention? I think the region locked thing was the last thing. Yeah, I don't remember exactly why I'm going here early. What is it? I have like notes for everything, but they're on my phone over there and not on me right now. Why am I going here right now? I guess I do I guess I do Precipice before Red Wolf, at least like parts of Precipice. Presumably, yeah, because I think, yeah, you need 2 Smithing Stone 3s to get to +7, and we picked up 1 Smithing Stone 3 in the last Gear Ruins a few minutes ago, and we need 1 more Smithing Stone 3 in order to get to +7, and yeah, one of those I pick up in the Ruin-strewn Precipice. So yeah, we do that before Red Wolf. This is basically like my setup, if you want to call it that. It's not like a total loss because I do have to like run through here at some point anyway. So it's not a total time loss, but yeah. I suppose ideally you'd want to just get to the bosses as fast as possible, but yeah, even with this run, sometimes you have to make considerations. I'm trying to think, I'm not sure what else to talk about. what is it? Oh yeah, I should say this run was done on January 9th, 2024. But I haven't gotten around to doing the commentary and stuff until now, and what is today, like February 18. I was mostly kind of lazy about it because, like, this run was never, like, the end point. Or, like, this was never, like, the final part of my plans. Like, I always wanted to do the All Remembrances version of this run. Like, I routed the 90% a lot earlier, and then I think only after, I don't know, like a couple weeks or something, I started routing the All Remembrances version, just because, like, at the time I was, like, because I routed this run, I think, quite a while ago. I guess I could look at my earliest save states to see exactly when I started, but yeah, like, I routed this run a lot earlier, and then at some point I did some testing for the All Remembrances version, because yeah, like I said, I didn't know that the All Remembrances version would be possible and consistent. But at least by this point, I had already spent a few sessions, like, routing All Remembrances, so that turned into, like, the new endpoint. And yeah, all of this is just to say that, like, this was sort of like an in-between run, so I'm not, like, super excited, or, like, I wasn't, like, super excited to do the commentary for it, just because, like, yeah, I'm just repeating myself over, but this is just a stepping stone between like the beginning and doing, like, the All Remembrances version of this run. But anyway, yeah, we're doing the commentary now because I should do it eventually. Like, this run still took like a month of practice and attempts, because I got my all bosses, mini bosses, and Sekiro around, like, I think it was December 8th. If I recall correctly, and then yeah, this run, I got this run a month later on January 9. So, like, it still took like a some amount of time to get. Like a month is nothing. A month is nothing to sneeze at. But usually I'm more used to my runs taking about, like, 2 months. So this run came rather quickly to me. So it, like, you know, I didn't, like, have as much time to get, like, super attached and excited about it. But anyway, we're here now. We got the plus 7 Estoc, and then yeah, we do level dexterity throughout the run. I could level, well, actually no, not for this run, because I don't get enough levels. But, like, even if I could, like, I don't like leveling endurance, just because, like, it doesn't really, like, fit the vibe, right? Because, like, the vibe is sort of just, like, you're going through the run with, like, a very, very, very basic build, and just, like, killing everything with the Estoc in just sort of, like, a simple way. And it feels like having, like, a really big stamina bar and just using the big stamina bar as a crutch doesn't really fit with the vibe or the ethos of this run. So yeah, but yeah, anyway, we just level dexterity throughout the run, because that's what the Estoc mostly scales with. Eventually we will put a couple points into strength, just because at the very high end the dexterity scaling kind of slows down a lot, and like, a couple points into strength becomes a little bit more optimal. It doesn't really matter very much either way. Oh yeah, I forgot that I'm supposed to do a running R2 and then another R2 and then an R1. Like, yeah, here you see, like, I do 2 R2s and then an R1, just because my damage is so low. And the R1 doesn't hit stun these mages there. But so yeah, that was, like, a small mistake that I got away with there. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying before, like, in general, you don't want to deal with two trash mobs at the same time. So you saw back there that I baited one of the mages away, and then, like, killed him alone, and then ran up the stairs to fight the other one alone as well. I think that's the last time you'll see that kind of strat where, like, I try to, like, fight one trash mob alone and then finish off the other one afterwards. But yeah, that's just, like, a general thing here. And here, this is my preferred path, because it avoids, because you could also take, like, a right path, but that has, like, a bunch of these, like, zombies in it, and, like, the zombies can sort of, like, chase after you and grab you, which I don't like, and it seemed like the dogs were a lot more manageable. Anyway, yeah, as far as I can tell, just like running past them is safe, the dogs. Occasionally, one of them will join you on the elevator here, but if you just make sure to like dodge its attacks, it will eventually like jump off the elevator all on its own. So like you don't even have to attack it, you just have to dodge it for a little bit, which is kind of scary, I'll admit, but it's fairly early on in the run here, and it's not that hard to do in the first place, so I think it's an acceptable strat. And here, there might be some like other strats to deal with this guy, but I'm pretty sure just running straight through this whole section is basically consistent, but I haven't like tested that very much, and this strat worked very well, where you just kill that one guy alone and then sneak past the rest of them, and that guy always sees you, but he's alone, so it's not a big deal. Then here we fight Red Wolf, and Red Wolf has like a pretty big reputation in the community for being like either like annoying or difficult or just like a bad time to fight, but I think with enough practice and stuff, you can generally do a good job and have Red Wolf be quite consistent. And yeah, I even have like a Red Wolf guide that I made a long time ago. Not that I'm like perfect at this fight, but I'm quite consistent at it. So anyway, we just deal with all its attacks there. And yeah, usually if we get good RNG, we can get one stagger at the end. And then we can finish off the Red Wolf there. So yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely handle Red Wolf without doing like any cheese strats or whatever. But yeah, there you go. Get some more levels in dexterity, of course. And then here I'm probably like talking to chat and pausing and everything. Yeah, like I'm not like a speedrunner or anything. Like I do like to have efficient routes, and I don't like to stall for too long. But yeah, occasionally I will just like stop what I'm doing and talk to chat there. And here we'll make our way up to Rennala. But we'll pick up this Smithing Stone 5 here, because there's one Smithing Stone 5 that we picked up a while ago, right before the Ruin-strewn Precipice. And then we pick up this Smithing Stone 5, so now we have two Smithing Stone 5s, so that when we get the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing in Altus Plateau, we can get a plus 13 Estoc instead of just a plus 12. So that doesn't make like a huge difference. Like it really doesn't matter too much either way, but just since it's on the way and I can just like pick it up pretty quickly, I think grabbing the plus 13 is a fine decision. And then here, yeah, Moongrim, you can sneak all the way around his little area here so that he doesn't see you. Sometimes, yeah, as you saw there, like he'll kind of like turn a little bit to face towards you, but like he won't aggro. And if you just like look around the corner and make sure he's facing away again, you can sneak on by without any trouble. And here we come to Rennala. What is it? Rennala, just like Red Wolf, has probably like has like an even worse reputation for being like annoying to deal with, and you know, either like difficult, or some people might even say like inconsistent or whatever. But if you spend a lot of time with the boss and like try to understand what's happening, and like actually, anyway, just like yeah, spend some time trying to actually get good at the boss. Eventually, like you will find that the fight is more or less consistent. Like there have been a couple occasions where I've done like many cycles of phase 1, because like yeah, phase 1 is like a really big source of trouble for a lot of people. But if you have like the right strats and like are patient with everything, you can actually do like many cycles of phase 1 and not get hit. You just have to like play intelligently and patiently and all that. Got really close to getting hit with that fire there. Let's see. Here I'm like trying to hide back here so that the tombstones that Rennala hurls at you don't hit me. You see how long that took, right? Like that was like many seconds. Like I definitely had enough time to just like run in and hit the third scholar here. Ooh, that was kind of lucky. Normally you want to like dodge, dodge or strafe a book and then immediately hit the scholar there, but yeah, sometimes you're a little bit greedy with it, but yeah, sometimes you get away with it anyway. And then here's phase 2. Phase 2, like the big complaint that people have is the summons, of course, which like is definitely a valid criticism. It does make the fight quite slow, especially if you have low damage. But at the very least, like the fight can be consistent. Like it is slow. There's no getting around that. I mean, at least there's no like consistent strats to get around it that I know of. But like at least it's consistent if you know what you're doing. It's like if you're patient enough, you can handle whatever she throws at you. I can't remember if I got any summons on this run, because like yeah, sometimes you get good RNG and she doesn't summon, but okay, yeah, she does summon there. And yeah, when she summons the dragon, you have enough time to hit her a couple times before the dragon hits you with its fire breath. So you saw me doing that there. Yeah, one thing I don't really know how to deal with super well is these like little multi-projectiles that she does. My basic strategy is to just like run away from them and then just strafe them. And then at a distance you can strafe like whatever she does, you don't need to roll. There might be a faster or better way to approach her when she does those multi-projectiles, but I haven't like experimented or tested anything like that. Here we have the Bloodhound Knights. Yeah, you can eat the strafes you can do in this fight are actually pretty good. Like you saw me there. I strafed underneath her like shotgun crystal blasts, and I was able to get a charged attack and an R2 follow up. So like you can do some nice punishes on her. They just don't come as frequently because the summons slow down the fight, of course. And yeah, there's her like long throw. Yeah, here you see me running away because there's like a rare meme that can happen with her, where like even after she's dead, she can still sometimes summon the troll or the giant. And if you stay still after killing her, it can land on top of you and hit you. But anyway, yeah, if you just run away after you kill her, everything's fine. And yeah, and if you don't need anything from Rennala, you can warp out of her arena right after receiving her drops. So yeah, you saw me there. I just warped out right as I got the drops, just to save a little bit of time. 'Cause yeah, I do like I'm not I'm not a speedrunner, but I think saving time here and there when it's easy is a nice thing to do. Oh yeah, and then upcoming here, this was like one of the first running section strats that I made, like specifically for this run, because yeah, like a very long time ago, I don't know, like months and months ago, I was just like testing and just seeing if this run would be possible and like consistent, and this was like a big worry for me, because there's a section, like any of you, and like if for anyone who's like been in this running section before, you'll know that there's like I don't know, like 9 bats or something like hanging out here, sleeping, and they're triggered by this like grandma bat or harpy or whatever. But I found that if you stand here next to this fire, next to this pillar, and then you do like a little dink against the pillar there, the grandma bat will investigate, and then once her face goes behind the pillar there, you can hit the pillar again in a slightly different spot there, and then you can sneak around as she investigates. And I was so happy when I found this strat, and I tested a bunch, and it seemed like it was consistent, and it has been consistent as long as I do everything correctly. But yeah, like she just investigates that, and then doesn't like call down the other bats to attack you. So yeah, that was really nice. And then this section was also kind of worrying because there are a bunch of these little, like, these land octopuses aren't really a big deal, but like these two bats here, they were like a big worry for me as well. But yeah, I found that bat always does the same opening move, and then if you just hit it during that opening move, it will fall down, and then you can like finish it off, and then the second bat you can kill it quickly after it comes down from its perch. So yeah, like those two little like running section strats right there took me a little bit of time and testing to find, but I was very, very happy when I did find them, because it basically meant that the rest of the run was possible. Because like this whole Ruin Strewn Precipice section, like when I was first thinking about it, I knew that this place was going to be tricky, but yeah, everything like ended up having like a nice strat for it that was not too demanding. Like it was actually like repeatable, and yeah, like just not too difficult. So yeah, I was very, very pleased with all of that. Because oh yeah, I think I forget if I can't remember if I like mentioned it before, but like yeah, this run is like also inspired by like the sword only runs in Sekiro. Because like in those runs and like in this run, like you're basically only using the sword that you start with, and like you're not using like any extra items or things like that to like make the run easier, or like cheese bosses or script them or anything. And yeah, I was very glad that you can do all of these running sections with just the sword, and you don't need any special equipment. Yeah, here we fight Makar. He's not too difficult. You mostly just like, at least the way I like to fight phase 1 is just like staying up in front of him, because that like makes his moveset pretty manageable. And then yeah, you usually get a stagger on him in phase 1 sooner or later. Then you can get this riposte, and then he'll phase transition into phase 2. I can't remember here. I might go for a stagger. Yeah, I do like a bunch of charge R2s here to try to stagger him, because he has this big phase transition move that takes a while to do. Oh yeah, and then for those of you not in the know, like phase 2 Makar has that really long delayed like sword slam that he does. And if you were paying attention back there, you might have noticed that his right foot kind of moves right before that attack. So you can use that as like a visual cue on like when to roll or jump if you're behind. Yeah, if you pay attention there, you'll see his right foot move a bit, and then that's when you either jump or roll or take evasive action, as it were. But anyway, after not too long, the fight's over. And yeah, you saw that like for phase 2, you're like, if you really want to, you can like stay in front of him and like dodge attacks and like punish his head, but it's just way, way, way easier to like stay at his feet or like his tail and just like get in attacks that way. It just works a lot better. So that's what I do for phase 2. And then yeah, we're through with the precipice and onto Altus Plateau now. I think, how long did it take to get here? Yeah, like 49 minutes, which is like pretty good time, honestly, because like sometimes people's like whole setup will take like this long. And we've already done 6 bosses here, which is really nice. But yeah, now in Altus, since this is just any percent, we're just gonna go straight to Draconic and Goldfrey and Morgott and everything, just kind of taking the obvious path through the game. Let's see. Yeah, before we get to Draconic, we'll pick up the Smithing Stone Belt Bearing in, I forget what it's called. Is it like Altus Tunnel or Seal whatever the tunnel's called. We'll pick up the bell bearing there and then upgrade the Estoc to plus 13 and then fight Draconic. Draconic Tree Sentinel. Oh yeah, here I think I got a call from my sister. So I just popped, like, for those of you who don't know, you can go, I think it's like, you can press like you press the start button and then you go into equipment and then you like press select for help and then you go down to like, I think it's like explanation. And then, yeah, anyway, if you like follow that sequence, you can like pause the game here. So like the game is paused right now, and we're just waiting for me to. I think if I remember right, I borrowed my sister's Nintendo Switch, and she was asking for it back. So we'll just wait until I'm done with the call there. Yeah, there's License commenting about my sister. Let's see. I guess I could talk about like the All Remembrances version of this run. It's coming along quite well. I've gotten 2 runs in that where I've only gotten hit 3 times each. So like I'm already pretty close, and it's only been like a month and a half. So hopefully within the next couple weeks I can get that run. It ended up being like a lot more doable than even I initially thought, because like it took a lot more testing to find stuff for all the running sections, but there did end up being like pretty solid strats for just about everything. I need to test out the sewers some more, because I did take a couple hits in the sewers on my last PB. But yeah. Hopefully that one will be done shortly, and I think for that one I'll commentate that one right away, because like I'm really excited for that All Remembrances run. God, this is a long ass call. We are waiting. Okay, we're back. Continuing on here with the run. And yeah, like, what is it? Even though like there is like an easier path, I guess, to get to Altus Plateau, like you get the Dectus medallions and then take the Dectus lift. I didn't like want to do that just because, like, in this run I ended up like I ended up not going to Caelid at all, and like the Fort Height, or like the medallion half at Fort Height, was like I don't even go anywhere near there in this run, so I don't know, it would just be like a huge detour like just for those items. And I'm pretty sure like Fort Height would be kind of annoying to do rangeless anyway. I'm sure it's doable, especially if I just go there straight at the beginning of the run, but I don't know. But, like, for one thing, yeah, again, like I said, I don't go anywhere near there in the first place, and it was just like way more fun and interesting to go through Ruin-strewn Precipice anyway. That I think it was the right choice, at least for me. Like, if you were gonna do this run with like a similar set of restrictions, but you just wanted it to be as easy as possible, you could just go get the Dectus halves, and then like fight Radagon instead of Rennala and all that. But this run, like, it's not like meant to be optimal, right? Like, it's meant to be like fun and interesting for me. So those kind of routing decisions followed suit. Then here, I don't actually know why did I rest here? Because like I always get this grace, but I think I'm resting here just because I'm talking to chat mostly. So yeah, we'll just wait for me to get up from the grace here. Maybe I like went to go. Did I go? Maybe I stopped like. Yeah, sometimes I'll like turn the lamp on because I usually start stream like when it's still light out, and then if it usually gets dark, and then I'll have to turn the lamp on at some point. Maybe that's what I did, but I don't know. But yeah, once we get that grace, we can come back or like get up and then go get the smithing stone bell bearing from this tunnel down here. And we get like I guess I would consider not getting this bell bearing, but just getting like all of the required smithing stone 4s. It seems like quite a big hassle. I think there are technically enough smithing stone 4s in the ruin-strewn precipice to get plus 12, and there are enough smithing stone 3s in the Urnia to get to plus 9 without too much trouble. Like that's what I do in the All Remembrances run. I'm able to get plus 11 before Red Wolf, but getting like 6 more smithing stone 4s. I haven't tested it out, but I just imagine it's gonna be a lot more work and more dangerous than just getting the bell bearing. So yeah, we just come in here, kill the Vulgar Militia guy, and then grab the bell bearing. Then we'll head on out, go to Round Table Hold, get plus 13 on the Estoc, and then continue on to Draconic Tree Sentinel. What is it? And I guess I could technically do, I think I could technically do the Draconic Tree Sentinel cheese with this setup. It would be like kind of RNG, because I think like the best you could do would just be like baiting the Tree Sentinel over by the cliff, and then just whenever you get a stagger on him, just trying to send him off a cliff. But I don't know, like I don't really like doing those kind of strats anyway, and also, like I said, it would be kind of like RNG, because like you can like influence where the Draconic Tree Sentinel is going to stand, but it would be like, yeah, dangerous and also just generally annoying to try to like get him right up against the cliff to send him off. So I opted just to fight the Tree Sentinel straight up. Okay, and then here, get some extra points in dexterity there. And I think I like making it morning time before fighting the Tree Sentinel just because when it's nighttime, it's just a bit darker and it's like a little bit harder to see things. Like it probably doesn't make any difference whatsoever, but just like psychologically, I think it's nicer to fight things during the daytime when you can see them very clearly. But yeah, I should have made it morning time back at that last grace, because this next grace upcoming is not really necessary, and I think I only picked it up just to change the time of day because I forgot before. But you know, yeah, we'll get there soon. But yeah, there are a lot of criticisms of ER I hear in like the hitless community all the time. And this run like isn't like a response or like a rebuke of those criticisms. I just want to like show people that the normal way that people do runs, like it's not like the only way that it could be done. Like you don't have to do a whole bunch of setup, you don't have to like cheese every boss. And like pretty much every boss is fightable. Like even Godskin Duo and Gideon are are fightable with the right know-how and strats and stuff. But yeah, the criticism of like the open world nature where it takes a long time to get from place to place, like yeah, that is kind of unavoidable, and you can you can see it very clearly here. I'm just kind of riding around on Torrent, and it's not the most exciting thing in the world, to put it mildly. I don't mind it like so much, since in some ways it is nice to have at least like some kind of break in between bosses. Because like if you talk to, I think, most people who run like the Mortal Journey no-hit run in Sekiro, where basically there are no running sections and it's just boss fight after boss fight continuously. It is like a very fatiguing kind of run, just fighting bosses continuously without any breaks in between. Or like, I don't know, I say most people who run Mortal Journey. I've just heard this from Croaks, who has expressed this to me, and it makes sense, just because like even in like the normal no-hit runs of Sekiro, where like there are at least like some little running sections to do. Like I think those little running sections are important, just to like let your mind rest at least a bit in between boss fights. Because just doing boss fights over and over and over becomes quite fatiguing. Now, Elden Ring probably, I mean, it almost definitely goes a bit too far in the other direction, like giving you like way too much rest in between bosses at certain points, but it's not like completely disqualifying as like a no-hit game. At least in my opinion. Like, other people are like, you know, it does take like 15 to 20 minutes to get from Morgott to Fire Giant, with not very interesting running sections in between. So like, it's a fair criticism. I just think it doesn't like disqualify the game from being like a valid no-hit kind of game. But anyway, yeah, we're just fighting the Draconic Sentinel here. And I really don't want to fight him on the stairs, so I'm just waiting for him to come back down, and he's finally coming down there. What is it? My preferred strategy is to just wait on his hammer side and not his shield side, because if you pay attention, like, you'll see that he can do like really long combo strings, like all of which are, or like most of which are punishable on his hammer side. Whereas, like, I haven't like done much testing fighting him on his shield side, but it seems like if you fight him on his shield side, he'll frequently disengage, and you'll have to like get back on his shield side. Whereas if you just fight him on his hammer side, he'll stay there for a lot longer. Like, he will disengage sometimes, but it's a lot less frequent, I think, than on his shield side. So you can just kind of stay there and just like roll things for a lot longer and just like punish in between his attacks. And it seems to be pretty efficient. I think I killed Draconic Sentinel in like, I don't know, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes or something like that. But anyway, yeah, now that we're past him, we can make our way into the capital. And then here, oh, what is it? I was like a little bit concerned about this running section for a while, because if you look at the path I took in my any percent run, or like my first any percent, I like go along the right there next to the edge or the ledge or whatever. And like, if you go that way, it's possible to get memed by some bubbles coming after you. But it turns out that the path that most people take there, because like that path that I just took is sort of like the normal path that most people take when they're doing a meta any percent with like a gambit and stuff. But anyway, it turns out if you just take that same path but you don't have gambit, like, it seems like nothing really changes. Like, you can still just run through there just as safely. even without Gambit. So yeah, that was a nice little surprise. But that was a long time ago that I discovered that. And then here, we just dodge one attack from the tree avatar. There are like alternate paths you can take if you don't want to deal with the avatar at all, but I'm just used to it at this point, and it's just like more direct and simpler and doesn't like skip anything. So I just go straight through. And there's only like one attack you actually need to roll from that avatar, and that was the attack that you saw. Like you saw that attack went right through me as I rolled. But every other like RNG that it gives you, I think you don't have to roll any of those. Like that's the only attack you have to roll. But anyway, past the avenue balcony there. You just sneak through here, and eventually that knight archer will de-aggro, and then you can make your way on past him. And then here you'll see me like sprint jumping and like blocking in between with my weapon. And I don't know, for those of you who don't know, if you like spam jump while sprinting, like the first jump will be like a proper sprint jump, but any like subsequent jumps will just be like non-sprinting jumps. Just because of like the way the game is designed. But if you just like block in between those jumps, it will like sort of like reset the animation so that you can immediately do another sprint jump. So that's like a small speedrun tip for you. Oh yeah, and another thing, like if you sprint jump uphill, it is faster than just sprinting alone. So yeah, anytime I'm going uphill, you'll usually see me sprint jumping if I'm not in combat. Like here, since I'm going uphill, I'll generally be sprint jumping just to save a little bit of time here and there. And yeah, I tend to like watching glitchless speedruns mostly, just because like sometimes you'll see tips like that or different like pathing and strats to try to make the run a bit more optimal and like save some time here and there. Anyway, here we come to Goldfrey, which is a heavy reset point for like a lot of beginner runners, and even like some experienced runners as well, for like a variety of reasons. So like one thing, sometimes Goldfrey can act like a little bit, I guess, like unpredictably, or like I don't know, sometimes he does like weird things with his AI, but another reason is just that his arena tends to be quite laggy, and like the frame rate is not as good in his arena generally. But at least for me, I think I've like more or less conquered Goldfrey. So I don't think I ever, did I ever, I can't remember. I don't think I ever reset to Goldfrey during this run. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have it written down in my notes. Like what attempt number I got this run on. I think it was like attempt 22 or something, if I remember it. But I'd have to check on my phone where I keep these notes. I can't remember, because I also keep track of like how many hours in the game I had when I started a run, and like how many hours in a game, or in the game I had when I finished the run. But I think I like talked about that like live on the run after, like right after the run was over, like as the credits were rolling and stuff. Like I give like a long speech for however long, because like yeah, I think the run ends around like two, I think the run ends like 2 hours, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours 10 minutes in, and then like the last 8 minutes or however long is just me like monologuing over the credits and so on. I think when it gets to that point, we'll switch to the live commentary I did and like the monologue and all that. Just because I think it's a bit more genuine than just me commenting over it anyway. Okay, here we fight Morgott. I've had a lot of practice with him, so I mean that goes for like every boss. I've had a lot of practice with every boss, and I found like a style that I think suits me quite well, and it's pretty comfy, and basically every situation is accounted for, more or less. But yeah, with my style at least, sometimes Morgott can give you these like insanely long combos that don't let you punish him, but I'm willing to accept that because like it makes the fight, I guess, like simpler, more comfy. Because like there are strats to like force him to end his combos, but I'm not as familiar with those. So anyway, this works quite well, because like it's not like I'm shying away from him at any point. Like I mostly just, like, the thing that slows me down is that I wait for him to end his combos for the most part, instead of forcing him to end the combos. Anyway, yeah, you saw that I staggered him back there, but I went for another R2, I think because that's like my normal follow-up, but if I had not done that extra R2 and just like done the riposte as he staggered, you can actually like you can actually get his health a lot lower in phase 2 if you like take the riposte, because like the riposte doesn't like send him into phase 2, even though his health is below the phase 2 threshold. Here you can like strafe underneath that like long delayed slow slam attack. And then there, yeah, like I knew he was going to stagger, so I chose to go for the stagger instead of dealing with the sword rain. Oh yeah, and there's the like in the community we like to call it the Morgott please attack, where he just does like this huge combo. And anyway, yeah, if you're like close to him at the start of that combo, you can just like dodge forward left 2 times, and you'll end up behind him, and you'll be safe. Which is my like usual preferred way of handling that combo. If you're really like confident, you can also just like walk forward right around him, but you have to like kind of know what you're doing to pull that one off usually. Because yeah, you can have like, because the beauty with the like roll forward left twice strat is that you can like react to the attack a bit later than you could otherwise. Anyway, after Morgott's dead, talk to Melina, get the Grand Lift of Rolled, or the Rolled Medallion rather, and then we warp down here to the Avenue balcony. That's why we got that grace, just because we use it later, and then here we run past the tree avatar. And although the tree avatar aggroes, it never, as long as you keep sprinting away from it, it seems to like never ever do any projectile attacks, because it has that one projectile attack, I think it's called Golden Land, that anyway, it just shoots projectiles at you. But anyway, if you, like I said, if you just sprint past it seems like it never does that for whatever reason. So it's always safe to just run past it without even looking. Anyway, after that, open the big door, run past these Misbegotten. I used to do some like other strats for this, like if you watched my first any percent run, I killed a couple of these Misbegotten, but it turns out that like none of that is actually necessary. You can just come up to this point, like you can take the stairs up until that point and then switch to coming up here on this little like plateau area, and then sneak past everything. So like you don't have to aggro anything or like kill anything there. So that was like a nice find, or I guess I didn't like personally find it. I think I also got that think I also got that pathing from Dinos and Guile. Because like I got my initial strat that I used in my first any percent from him, but then I think he updated it, or like he found that other pathing that doesn't require killing anything. So I just copied that from him, if I recall. And then here, I know like some people have like trouble with like a crossbow bolt hitting them in the back if they just run past everything, but I've never, I don't think I've ever been hit doing that. Just like running past with that specific line. Sometimes I will see a crossbow bolt flying past me, but like it's never hit me directly. I don't know if it's like the particular line I take, because like I don't like go straight through the middle the whole time. I like kind of start out a little bit further on the right, and then like move into the middle after I get onto the bridge proper. But anyway, now that we're past all that, we're ready to get to the Forbidden Lands. And then here, I think my path is basically exactly the same as it was on my first any percent run. Just because for my first any percent, I lost a run here, and then after that, I just decided to come up with a very definite path, just so I would never have to deal with getting hit again. And I think it's been the same ever since. So yeah, just come straight through here, and then go on the right part of this little island, just so the poison trap never triggers. Just kind of sprint past the Vulgar Militia there. And then here, I like to jump up this rock instead of just going straight through, because if you like go further on the right, if you're like mispositioned in just the right way, it is possible for one of the Vulgar Militia to like land on you and hurt and hit and damage you. And I think that was just because I was like really grossly mispositioned there. So if you just take like a normal line, it would probably work just fine. But I like to just be extra cautious there, regardless. And then here, if you take this specific line and sprint past the Blackblade Kindred, I'm like pretty sure that the Blackblade Kindred can't hit you. There's like a lot of, or there's been like a lot of discourse about like looking back at the Blackblade Kindred to like make sure that if he does his roar that you're able to like dodge it. But at least for me, like I've done this many times now. If you just take that line and just sprint past it, it seems like it just never hits you. So take that however you like. And then here, once again, we'll grab another Smithing Stone Bell Bearing to upgrade the Estoc to plus 18. Because, what is it? Yeah, this one lets you buy Smithing Stone 5s and 6s, which are, at least on the any percent route, like it's very, like I don't even know where you would get the Smithing Stone 5s and 6s if you didn't get the Bell Bearing. I guess they might be in like Kaled or something. But anyway, yeah, this is just the best way to get the next upgrade level on the Estoc here. So yeah, grab that and then immediately warp back to the round table hold to get these upgrade materials. Okay. Buying those, and I think we upgraded to plus 18, if I remember right. I think we get it to plus 20 a little bit later, but I think for this initial upgrade bit, yeah, we just get it to plus 18. We will come back, like, because we're gonna grab some more upgrade materials, some Smithing Stone 7s in the mountaintops area, but we haven't done that yet, so we just get it to plus 18 to start with here. And then yeah, we level up there to get rid of as many runes as possible, because for the second and final time up ahead, we'll be doing a strat to break a statue to get more smithing stones, and that strat requires us to use the Memory of Grace item to like warp out during combat, to at least to make it safe. Or I guess like most of the time, like for this upcoming strat, you'll see most of the time the golem will do like a favorable attack that lets you like pick up the item, and then you also you could run away and just like get on torrent and ride away after. But there's like a rare RNG where the golem will give you like an unfavorable attack, and then it will like do a fire breath immediately after, and if you don't like bone out immediately, then it has like, it's basically guaranteed to hit you. And yeah, and I know that very well because I lost a run to it during my first any percent like a year ago, or maybe even like it's been like a year and a few months at this point. But yeah, here I think by this point I learned that you can just run straight through here without looking back at that archer again. Because yeah, the timing of his shots is such that yeah, if you ride straight on through, like so, you don't have to look back at him again. But yeah, back to that like strat with the statue and the golem that's up ahead here. Like I know that bad RNG still exists. Like there's no reason it would have gone away. But like I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen it in like a few months now. Since running this current any percent, and then also like the all remembrances as well, because I do this in the all remembrances version of this run too. See, I don't really know what's up with that. Like I've probably done this strat like 20 more times in the past couple months, but I just have not seen I have not seen the bad RNG again. I'm sure it can happen still, but for whatever reason it just hasn't. I guess like maybe like there's a chance that if you trigger the golem by like standing here and like hitting it a few times, then maybe it changes its AI so that it doesn't do the bad RNG. Because like since this run is rangeless, sometimes like the golem will like stop walking towards you, and you'll have to like chase after it and get it to re-aggro or like walk towards you. Because yeah, that would actually be kind of interesting. Like maybe it might have been that the bad RNG that I experienced before was like caused by the golem like walking away from me after it was aggroed, and then since on my previous run, since I had ranged attacks available, I would just like hit it with an arrow from a bow, and like maybe that changed its AI to like give me the bad RNG in those situations. Because like I don't know, it's just kind of suspicious to me that it's been like so long and I haven't seen the bad RNG again. But but just the same, I'm not really willing to like put a live run on the line to test that out. So I'm just gonna continue to bone out, just because it's safer. But yeah, there we got those smithing stone 7s from the statue, and then we'll pick up 3 more smithing stone 7s from the cliff next to the church here. And then that will give us 6 smithing stone 7s total, and with those 6 we can get our Estoc up to plus 20, which is a nice little bump up from plus 18 here. Because like, what is it? These like the next couple fights, like Fire Giant and Godskin Duo, like they can be done similarly with plus 18 rather than plus 20, but it's definitely a lot nicer on Godskin Duo to do them with plus 20. Just because on Godskin Duo, like, the fight difficulty is sort of like non-linear. Like if you reduce your damage by like half on Godskin Duo, it probably makes the fight like, it makes it like more than twice as hard. At least in my opinion. So like any like increase in damage that you can get will have like a much greater effect on the overall difficulty of the fight than you might expect. Just because the fight is so complicated and like demanding. Like, yeah, the fight's like, because you have to be like making decisions like the whole time and just be constantly processing, like, is this safe? Am I gonna get punished for doing this? At least the way I do it. There are some people that can handle Godskin Duo like very, very like way better than I can, and maybe they have like a different experience, but at least for me it's a very mentally fatiguing fight. Yeah, here we see more, I guess more of that criticism of Elden Ring's open world design here. For like casual playthroughs, there's like more stuff to do, but at least for like no-hit runs where you're just kind of running past everything, you do end up with pretty significant sections here and there where you're just riding on torrent through like what might as well be empty space. Anyway, I don't know why I keep like practicing activating my memory of grace here. I don't know why I keep doing that. But yeah, we got the grace there, and then we come over here to get this this ancient dragon smithing stone, because this is basically like the easiest one to get. There's another one in Farum Azula that's pretty easy to get as well, but there's like a tiny bit more danger with that one. And also, if you get this one, then you can go straight from Godskin Duo and just go immediately back to Round Table Hold to get plus 25. Whereas if you got the other ancient dragon smithing stone from Farum Azula, you'd have to do like a little bit more running after Godskin Duo and then get plus 25. Anyway, we got plus 20 now. And we should be going, directly back to Fire Giant and just plowing on in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll level up a little bit here beforehand though. The levels don't matter like so much. Like you see my damage only goes up by like maybe like less than 1% there, but yeah. If I have a little bit of extra damage, I might as well take it. It might not necessarily be like the most time efficient strat, but it's fine. I'm not like, again, I like having like efficient routes for the most part, but I'm not like dedicated 100% to the pursuit of speed. There, I guess at this point I still liked getting off torrent and then rolling the avalanche attack. But it's also like equally valid to stay on torrent and then do a standing dismount of torrent to iframe the avalanche as well. And then here, what is it? Fire Giant Phase 1 I think is probably my least favorite fight in the any percent or all remembrances, just because I don't know, he's just kind of like really big and awkward to fight, and he likes to roll away a lot, slow things down. But anyway, it's not like the worst thing in the world. Just kind of chase him around a bit, get some punishes here and there. Oh yeah, since I'm mid-roll, I like jumping those fireballs, those fast fireballs. Because, like, actually iframing those fireballs is kind of tricky because there's, like, the initial fireball itself, and then once it hits the ground, it has, like, an explosion hitbox afterwards. Which makes timing the roll a bit more tricky than you might initially think. But if you just jump it sideways, then you don't have to deal with the, what's it called, the explosion afterwards when it hits the ground. Since you jump far enough away that you just outspace that explosion anyway. Yeah, once again, just chasing him around and doing some punishes here and there. Just trying to whittle his health down. This attack. You can like stay close to him and do some punishes while he's summoning the fire, but it's not like 100% consistent. You are able to get memed doing that, and just to avoid that, I run away to a safe distance every time he does that fire summoning attack. I don't really know why I was trying to go for the charge R2 there. Maybe I was trying to like get an opening stagger on phase 2. That usually doesn't work, and it would be like really tricky to set up in any case, so I don't really know why I'm doing it. Maybe it was just an experiment or something. It's like, yeah, like I'm not even trying to get a stagger at that point, because I'm just going for R1, so I don't know. Because yeah, it's generally better if you're just going for damage per second. Just doing R1s is a lot better than the charge R2s. And here, this is my preferred strat to handle the slow fireballs in phase 2. Just get right up next to his hands on torrent, and then as soon as you hear the slow fireballs exploding, then you can ride through his legs and get away from danger. But yeah, here in phase 2, you will see me doing a lot of charge R2s, because in phase 2, you can keep his poise up a lot better, at least usually. It's still possible for him to kind of deny you, but usually you can get a stagger off in phase 2, which is nice because it lets you get off like a fair bit of hits that are. It gets you a fair number of free hits if you get a stagger, obviously, which is nice. And you could also do the same thing in phase 1, but it's a lot more common in phase 1 for him to like stall and sort of like deny you the stagger. But again, in phase 2, he usually lets you get another stagger. Like I think I probably get another stagger here, but we'll just have to see. Oh yeah, there. It's possible for him to like pull you up in the air a bit. It usually doesn't get you hit, but it is a little bit funny every time he sends you up in the air like that. But anyway, yeah, we got the second stagger. We finished him off there. And we are past Fire Giant on a Godskin Duo. I think what is it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this recollection I'm actually pretty sure about. Like I had like my other previous run that got like the other run that got the furthest before this run was a run that got to Fire Giant, and I lost the run. I forget how I think I was like 1 frame late to roll something in phase 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like 1 frame late to roll something in phase 2. So that run died at Fire Giant, and then this was like the next best run. So like from here on out, like I'm doing like better than I've ever done before. Like so we're past Fire Giant and into sort of new territory. Yeah, you'll hear me talk about it a lot at the end of the run when I switch to the live commentary. But yeah, this was like the first run past Fire Giant, and like I got all the way through to the end, which I was super proud of, because like I had practiced everything a lot, and like I knew the fights really well, and the running sections were all solid, and just everything worked out, and I executed well. So that was really nice that the first run that got past Fire Giant just got all the way through to the end. It was a very good day. But yeah, now we're here in Farum Azula. We'll pick up these Smithing Stone 8s here and there. They're not like very essential, like they just save us a little bit of money compared to buying them from the Twin Maiden husks with the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing. But we'll pick them up anyway, and yeah, here we just hit the ground so that that beast man gets distracted. And I'm pretty sure it's not necessary to sneak through this first part. I think you can just sprint through after you distract that first beast man. And then you can sneak. I think you probably still need to sneak here behind this beast man. Although maybe just running past him is fine, but I haven't tested that. But anyway, yeah, that's how I like to get through. They're just full sneaking, not aggroing anything. It's very comfy. And then here, there's that item on the left is a Smithing Stone 6, I believe, which we don't really have any use for, so we just skip that. And then here we pick up another Smithing Stone 8, just to save us a little bit of money, like I said before. Not a big deal either way, but might as well, you know. And then yeah, you can just run straight through that first dragon that spawns in there, because its landing animation doesn't have a hitbox, so you can just stay right in the middle and not worry about anything. Occasionally there'll be a lightning, like a piece of lightning that he summons that's like right on top of you, and in that case you should try to like run to the left or right to avoid it, but generally you can just sprint straight through and not need to alter your path at all. Oh yeah, and then here, I got this strat. I'm sure a bunch of people do that same strat, but anyway, I got that strat from Banjo the Uncle, to like go up to the upper level and then sneak through the majority of that little room. And then here, after getting through that room, I like to wait a little bit, because yeah, sometimes even after you're through with that room, the beastmen will summon lightning on top of you, even when you're outside. And I just wait, like before jumping down back there where the lightning spawned on top of me, like if you run straight through as fast as you can, it's possible for you to like jump down, and then like right as you land, the lightning could get summoned on top of you, and like since you're in a fall recovery animation, you might not be able to escape the lightning comfortably. So yeah, just to avoid that whole situation, you saw me wait a little bit at the top before jumping all the way down, just so the lightning doesn't give me any trouble. And then yeah, we're coming up on Godskin Duo here, and this is like the big the big showcase fight of this run, and like any run that I do in Elden Ring, really, just because like just still to this day, like Godskin Duo is definitely the hardest fight I have to do. Just because, yeah, like I said before, like it's like mentally fatiguing. You have to be making decisions constantly in the duo phase when they're both out, and then even when they're alone, like you have like since you're able to get like a lot more damage on them when they're alone, like you have this immense pressure to like do as much damage as you can just to make the rest of the fight easier. So like just the whole time, like your mind is. Or not like literally the whole time, but like your mind is running a lot faster during this fight than for like basically any other fight. And I think, if I remember right, I got pretty bad RNG on this, on the phases when they were alone. And yeah, here you'll see me just do like the same basic thing that I usually do. where I try to fight Noble exclusively to start, mostly by just like baiting out combo finishers to get really easy punishes. Like, yeah, since I'm here on a live run, like, I'm being very cautious. Just trying to, like, only take the really easy, safe punishes here. At least to start out with. Yeah, like, this like, the big thrust combo finisher is an easy punish. Yeah, and you saw me there. I had to like strafe Apostle's Fireball and then roll Noble's big thrust, and just that kind of like split-second decision making is what makes this fight so difficult. And yeah, once we get Noble into phase 2, we can hide behind a pillar here and then get charged attacks as he's rolling. And like, yeah, very frequently you'll miss these attacks. And then here, you can punish that, but Noble is, or not Noble, but the Apostle is kind of close, so I opt to not punish that and just play it safer. And then yeah, there I get close and then dodge past Noble's like repeating thrust combo and get behind him and get some punishes there. And yeah, one of the skills, like if you want to actually do this, one of the skills you'll learn right away, or at least that you should learn eventually at least, is like you want to try to strafe the fireballs as much as possible. And there you saw, like, yeah, sometimes the situations can be quite dicey. And you saw me roll through his roll there, and like I have practiced doing that, so it wasn't like entirely unheard of, but it was still kind of a split-second decision. And yeah, here I'm trying to, now that Apostle's alone, I'm trying to do as much damage as possible, and it starts out kind of okay at the beginning there, but then he just like idles here, and like I eventually learned that you can like get to his side to like punish the idol, or at least like force him to do something, but at this point in my career, like I wasn't confident punishing or like going in on Apostle when he was idling, so I ended up like getting like very few punishes on him when he was alone. So now I end up with like Apostle in phase 2 and then Noble also out at the same time. Which, it's not like an unsafe situation, like it is possible to like slowly whittle down Apostle's health. Like every time he does this, I can like get a little hit in there, get like a couple hits in, as long as Noble is not too close, of course. But yeah, Noble can do that quick poke, like anytime he's within range, so you have to be like super careful when you're punishing Apostle. Like there, like I opted to just do one R1 and then run away, just cause like Noble was a little bit close, and I just don't have any confidence in him not doing like a quick poke when I'm in the middle of dealing with Apostle here. So yeah, this was like a very slow fight in the middle here, just cause at least with my strats and like my level of skill, getting or like killing Apostle while Noble is also out it just takes a long time. Like here, like you saw that I kind of paused a little bit and like made sure that Noble wasn't gonna quick poke, and then I think I just did a single R1 there and then ran away. Like I'm trying to be really cautious, which isn't like the best showcase of like what this run could be. Oh yeah, and then that was a dodge that a lot of people were talking about at the time, like iframing Apostle's was it like windmill attack and then also Noble's fireball attack at the same time. Like that was, it's not like a crazy hard roll, but that like you definitely need to be like very focused to get those things right. And then here, I think I did actually get like decent RNG on Noble there, because like, yeah, I was able to stagger him while he was alone and in the middle of the summoning animation. And if you can do that, if you can stagger one of them when they're alone in the middle of their summoning animation, then they won't ever try to summon again, and then you can like fight them alone for as long as you want. So like that was very, very fortunate to get, because sometimes Noble can give you just bad RNG, and then yeah, just give you bad RNG and then like not really let you stagger him. But yeah, we got lucky with that. Like we were kind of unlucky with Apostle, but then we got luckier with the Noble there. And then here, just to finish the fight off, like I'm being like super cautious, and like I'm just waiting to punish the fireball attack from Apostle, since that's really easy to punish, especially if you're like already sprinting, and then I just finish off Apostle during the summoning animation just to end the fight. So yeah, that it wasn't like the most pretty or beautiful showcase of like what like a really proper Godskin Duo fight could be, but that is the RNG that we got on the run, and like that is just what happened. So we will take it and move on. But yeah, that was really good. I mean, the RNG wasn't that great, but I was still really happy to get past them, because that was the first time I got to them on a live run, at least for this particular run, and I didn't like fuck up too bad, and I was able to get past them, so that was good, of course. And then here, yeah, once you get the bell bearing from Godskin Duo, you can get a plus 25 weapon, which is a maximum level there. Alright, so now we got a maxed out weapon, and we can like go through the rest of the run without going back to the round table hold. Get our dexterity up a little bit. I'm very close to another level up there, but I think I sold all my runes already, so there's not much else I can do. We'll move on. Here we just like dink this wall a few times just to distract the enemies that are below me, so they don't notice as I run past. And then here, I think there are like a few ways you could probably do this little section here with the dog. My preferred method is to just sneak around and then kill the dog, just so you have a lot of time to line up this jump really nicely. I think I'm pretty sure I've never failed that jump on a live run. Like I've never lost a run to that jump, so that's nice. Hopefully I never have to die there. But yeah, here we're just gonna go to the bird section. There's like a skip you can do that avoids all the birds. It's called bird skip, and I think that I can't tell if like if it's more popular than just running through or not. But yeah, that's like the other option people like to do. But I in general, I don't like doing skips that I think are unintended. So I just go through the normal way. Oh yeah, and I guess I used the runes I got from killing that dog to get that last level up, so that's good. And then here there's like a small skip you can do where you can like get around that little corner there and like avoid that bird, but sometimes I mess it up, and if you mess it up, it usually is fine, because that bird can't get past that little railing, at least like 99% of the time. There's like a small percentage of the time where that bird can actually get past there. And I have spent like, I don't know, maybe like half an hour fighting that bird just in case, but I would probably lose the run if I had to fight it. But anyway, I have practiced it just in case it ever happens, but I don't know. It might not make a difference. Anyway, yeah, the strat here is to just wait on top of this little ledge for these birds to come up, and then you can like hit them as they're trying to come up, because like although like the birds are like quote unquote flying, like the game is not like, the game doesn't like function like reality, right? So like in order for them to get over this lip, they still have to do like a jumping animation to like get over the little lip, and during that animation you can hit them, right? Then here, yeah, the strat to deal with this dragon, if you can't use any ranged attacks, is to just like take a step onto that like upper level of the rocks, and then hop back down. And if you hop back down, the the dragon will disappear eventually. Sometimes it'll like glitch out and like not do the proper like disappearing animation, so it'll kind of just like vanish in a snap. But either way, the dragon is gone. And then here, I think this little section is, well, it's a little bit different than in my first any percent run. Like, okay, this little bit with like hiding behind the tree for this beast man to walk by, like that's the same. But there's like a little section up ahead, or like the section up ahead after this is a bit different. So here, I've done like some testing with this area, and what I do is I sprint past the first bit there, and then I crouch, and then wait here, and then sometimes the beast man like gets in a position where he won't see me, but sometimes he does see me. On this particular occasion, he doesn't see me, so you can just sneak on by. Although that doesn't happen every time. And then here, since I don't have any kukri or anything, I just have to like come in, and there I wait for that last beast man to like do an attack, and then I jump over it and get past him. It's not as scary as it looks if you practice it for a little bit. I think that beast man only has like a couple attacks that he can give you, both of which are not too difficult to deal with. I guess I technically don't need that grace that I just got back there, but just in case, oh yeah, because it is probably a better idea to pick up that grace just in case. Because like I think I'm a lot better at this strat than I'm doing, like this strat here. Like I'm a lot better at this strat now, but at the time, like I would still occasionally screw it up. Because you have to wait in this spot for this tree sentinel to notice you. Like, yeah, you see him turn towards me, and then as soon as he starts walking, you want to like sprint, crouch away, or like crouch, sprint away, and then kind of like wait over here for him to reach that spot that he was investigating, and then you can sneak on by. But like, yeah, occasionally he'll keep walking towards you if you mess up the strat. But yeah, we do that just so we don't get frame trapped if we sprint past him and go through the fog gate, because if you just like run past him when he's like aggroing to you, there's just a very, very small chance that he'll like attack at the perfect moment and like hit you right as you go through the fog gate. So just to avoid that possibility, we do like a sneak strat. In here, we just fight Maliketh, kind of like how I've always fought him, or at least like fought for a long time. Just bait the slam out. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, like basically, for most like melee attacks that the Maliketh phase 1 does, like it will end in that vertical stab or slam. Okay, we're through with that, and then here we should be able to get a stagger at the beginning of phase 2. Yeah, like that. Then we get the riposte. And then for the rest of his health bar, we just have to fight him straight up, which I've had a fair amount of practice with, so it's not too concerning. But he's not like the easiest fight ever. Like phase 2 especially is not easy. Phase 1 is honestly pretty easy, at least for me at this point. But phase 2 we just keep our cool and get our punishes in. Yeah, what is it? This is kind of outdated. I fight him a little bit more aggressively here. Like, you'll see me, you saw there at a couple points, I would like run all the way behind him and then punish, and that is to prevent him from doing the like the flurry attack. But yeah, nowadays I'm more comfortable with dodging the flurry attack and then like getting behind and punishing during the flurry attack. So like that's what I do nowadays. But yeah, like a month ago or whenever, I was more comfortable just running all the way behind him before punishing, just so I usually don't have to deal with that flurry attack at all. And then yeah, here you see that I put one point into strength because at this high dexterity level, the dex scaling like kind of falls off pretty hard, so that putting a couple points into strength becomes more beneficial. Just checking the in-game time there again. And then we're just making our way up to Gideon. And yeah, this and then yeah, here you'll see not like the whole reason I chose the Estoc, but like a pretty freaking big reason why I chose the Estoc is just that it makes fighting Gideon like a lot more manageable when if you're not able to cheese him. Like fighting him this way it's a lot more manageable than it would be otherwise. Yeah, the beginning is mostly the same. I guess I'm not buffing at all, but I'm still waiting for the first point. Because yeah, like as soon as he says what a sad state of affairs, then you can attack him and get as much, like the biggest punish possible, basically. And then here, yeah, you see that you try to like just time your R1s to keep him in a stun lock, but sometimes he'll get out, and then you have to like bail and then wait for a safe opening to return or like to re-engage him. Like yeah, him doing that debuff attack is a safe opening to get back in. And here, yeah, just time your R1s to stun him and try to not let him do anything. And then yeah, that was actually pretty good RNG, honestly, because he never even healed, which he usually is able to heal, and he only got out of the stun lock once, and then he didn't give us like too much trouble to get him back into the stun lock. So honestly, like not bad RNG overall. Okay, and then once we're through with him, we'll continue on to Hoarah Loux. And yeah, fighting him that way, I don't know if it's like 100% consistent, but if you play it like really well, and you've like practiced dodging some of his more problematic attacks, like it is possible to dodge the triple rings of light in most cases, and yeah, so if you've like prepared the fight pretty well, it is quite consistent. Again, I don't know if it's 100% consistent, but it is, I don't know, at least like, depending on your damage, probably more than like 90 or 95% consistent. But yeah, here we continue on to Hoarah Loux. What is it? Phase 1 is kinda, it's pretty easy, so it's not much to say. I just do like the typical thing you might see from runners, where you rotate around counterclockwise and just punish him as you go. Counterclockwise, punish, jump attack, yeah, get around. You could actually do a charge R2 there, but I didn't like know that at the time. Oh yeah, and you saw that I like to jump over his like little stomp attack right before the fissure. And then for the fissure itself, I like to use Godfrey like pulling his hand up the haft of the axe as like a visual indicator of when to roll the fissure attack. And then yeah, for his phase transition stomp, I like to, like, if you saw there, I like to jump it, just because the timing is more lenient to jump it than to roll it. Okay, through with phase 1, and then for phase 2, for like since like a long time ago, I guess, I learned how to like fight phase 2, I guess, like properly. You can kind of do like a similar thing to phase 1, where you rotate around him counterclockwise and like stay on his side, and that way you just restrict his moveset a lot. And you just like stay around the side and try to rotate around him. It's a pretty short fight, so you only see like a little bit of it, but it's a very like well-developed strategy. Yeah, just like rotate around counterclockwise, get some punishes in. Yeah, and you can even like jump attack and then punish his stomps like that if you're in the proper position there. And yeah, and depending on RNG, you can like keep him in that loop for a long time and just get like lots of damage pretty quickly. So yeah, there's Hoarah Loux for you. Alrighty. Let's see, I think like right as I kill Elden Beast, I'll probably switch to the live commentary for the YouTube video. So yeah, I'll probably like continue commentating over the run up until then, but yeah, probably like right as I kill Elden Beast, I'll switch over to the live commentary. Just because I think it's yeah, like more genuine and all that. Oh yeah, I guess I should mention here that like for this run, I had to learn Radagon phase 2 and 3 like a fair bit, and I had not known really how to fight them properly before. So like that was a big learning process at the beginning. I had to practice Radagon a lot. Because for most runs, and even like the All Remembrances run that I was doing last year, I was able to skip Radagon phase 2 even with no buff icons. But yeah, the Estoc damage is low enough that you can't skip phase 2 and 3. So yeah, you just have to know how to fight him really well, which I do. He's honestly pretty fun once you learn him and gain some confidence in him. And then here he should do the phase transition stomp. There it is. And then yeah, from here on out he's in phase 2. He'll do like teleports and things. And like yeah, the teleports are the big thing you have to learn how to deal with. But like I have learned, like I have practiced, so everything's under control. Got our second stagger there. He should go and do the triple slam for the phase 3 transition now. There it is. Some people like to jump the triple slam, or at least like the first 2 of the 3 slams. I just roll them just because I think it's just a bit comfier. But yeah, here we've got to fight a little bit of phase 3, which is mostly the same as phase 2. With like, I guess some slightly altered combos, but yeah, in any case, he's done with. Very, very nice. Like honestly, pretty okay fight. And then for Elden Beast, if I recall correctly, like my general strategy for Elden Beast was to like I wanted to like trigger his not his triple rings, his like single Elden Ring attack, and then I would try to like get a stagger before I would try to get a stagger before Elden Stars happened, so that I could burst his health down in order to get him below the threshold for triple rings, so that Elden Beast is like more likely to do triple rings as Elden Stars is happening. Just because like dodging triple rings during Elden Stars is pretty easy to do, and it means you don't have to deal with like any other Elden Beast moves while Elden Stars is going on. But yeah, you'll see here in like a minute or two that I got like even luckier than that. There's the Nebula Slam. Here for the Standing Needles attack, I like to do this strat where you like zigzag back and forth to dodge it. It's really consistent for Standing Needles. And then here, yeah, you see me doing charge attacks, I'm trying to get a stagger. I'm trying to like get a stagger before Elden Stars happens, so I can burst his health down. But the RNG was like just so that you'll see in just a few seconds here. Like I stagger Elden Beast right as he began to do the Elden Stars attack. It was kind of hard to see at the time, but I had kind of suspected that I staggered him out of Elden Stars, which is something I like never practiced doing like that. Like that wasn't like the plan, but it was even better than the plan, really. Yeah, and then there's the getting really close to the hitbox for triple rings there, but yeah, so we got kind of lucky on this run. We didn't have to dodge Elden Stars at all. Which is nice. Like I'm able to dodge Elden Stars, but of course if you don't have to deal with it at all, then that's even easier, right? So yeah, and then the last little bit of health here is I'm basically just doing a victory lap. Like there's not a lot that could meme me right now. I guess if he did like flying needles like right next to the wall there, that could probably hit me, but besides that, here like I'm not very like at the time I wasn't very confident dodging Wave of Gold at mid range, so I'm just trying to like stay at like a middle distance, so I don't have to dodge Wave of Gold. But yeah, there's not much else to say. I think I'll switch to the live commentary now, basically. Let's fucking go, dude! I knew I could do it! Holy shit, finally, like... Oh my gosh. Let's do a bow, dude. Fuck yeah. I knew I could do it, dude. I was calm, I was ready. Oh, I practiced everything. I'm a little bit disappointed that, you know, because like dodging Elden Stars is really cool, but of course I'll take what I can get. Holy shit, though. Yeah, thanks to everybody for being here. That was really, really special. I am super happy about that. The first run that got to Godskin Duo made it all the way. That feels so good, dude. That was like back when I did my All Memories run in Sekiro. The first run that got past Owlfather got the run, and it was a really, really good day. Cause like it's one thing to, you know, to like grind the run and like inch a boss forward each time, like okay, like distance PB to Fire Giant, then to Godskin Duo, and then like one more boss each time, but like to get like a really big distance and just like finish it out, like the first opportunity you get, feels so good. Yeah, it's okay, Crooks. It was a really good run, really, really good run. very solid stuff all around. I mean, the Godskin Duo wasn't the most beautiful I've done, just because, what's it called? Like, Apostle gave me really bad RNG that I didn't want to punish. But yeah, thank you so much. So much, guys, for being here. Let me get the... Yeah, Witty, thanks for the 5 gifted subs, dude. Huge thanks. Oh, man. Thanks, Fee, for the 100 bits. Yeah, very nice run, dude. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think the only interruption I had there was I like accidentally, or like I unintentionally did like a jumping R1 in Stormveil that made me have to like wait an extra minute for these enemies to de-aggro, and then my sister called me, so I was like away for like a minute or something there. But yeah, besides that, this was just a very clean run, just running through, like no big stalling or anything, just performance, dude. Feels really good. Yeah, the Godskin Duo fight was it had one really good save in there. I rolled like the helicopter windmill thing, like the stretchy helicopter from Apostle Phase 2 and Noble's Fireball at the same time, which was kind of a tight decision, but yeah. Thanks everybody for the GGs here. Sliver of endurance, yeah. Yeah, stars into rings. I was hoping for stars into rings, but like I unintentionally staggered him during Elden Stars, so we didn't even see it at all. Oh man, that was like really lucky, because like I don't practice for that, and I was aiming for like, yeah, stars into triple rings. But yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to roll a wave of gold, so I was being cautious about approaching him. But yeah, dude. Whew. That was a mean TP. I don't know. I'm pretty okay dealing with the teleports from Radagon now, but yeah, holy shit, dude. Dude, I'm so glad I got this. Like, I forget. I need to like check back, because like it was December 8 that I got my all bosses mini bosses run, and now it's January 9 and I got another run. It only took me a month this time to get a run. I mean, it was only like an any %, but still, like, that's great. Thanks, Smoker. Yeah, we got the run, dude. Oh man. Yeah, the end was kind of scary. I don't know. I guess Radagon was a little scary, but like I rolled the teleports just fine, and I rolled the insta darts and everything. Like I played Radagon like perfectly, I think. Like everything, like all the punishes I normally do, I did on him, and it was just so good, dude. Yo, Phoebe, thanks for the gift sub to XC, and Archer to the community gift sub. Oh man. Oh, yeah, I had 0 stamina on that third jump of rings. Yeah, I did see that, but like, as long, you know, I had it on like the third ring, so like I didn't need to do another ring, so I knew I was safe. Like I rolled there just for safety, but yeah, like I knew I was fine, because like I had just enough stamina. But yeah, it was a bit tight. It was a bit tight. Oh my goodness. Oh man, yeah, clutched it really nicely. Yeah, that, dude, what made this, again, what made this so special was just the first try that got to Godskin Duo, made it past Godskin Duo, and made it through like everything. I mean, Gideon was pretty easy, like although Gideon did get away once, and he did like a little triple rings, but like that was pretty okay. Like Gideon was pretty tame, honestly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 4-0. Yeah, this is definitely my biggest jump, like PB4 down to PB0. Really nice. Because I think, yeah, my other runs have been like PB1 to PB0, and then All Memories was PB2 to PB0. So yeah, this was really great. And like, you know, like it's always possible, right? Like if you practice all the bosses and the sections, and like you know what you're doing, you can't, like, there's no reason that you have to, you know, like inch down the distance PB, or not the distance PB and the hits PB. Like you can get it all, you can like do big chunks, you know. But yeah, I'm usually not so lucky, because like, you know, my runs, they're very demanding. Like like pretty much everything's consistent in my runs, but I need to play really well. Like, you know, yeah, I think I used the word demanding already. You just a lot of skill checks that you have to pass and, like, you know, press the buttons at the right time. He did the first few frames. Yeah, he did the first few frames of Elden Stars. Yo, Link, thank you so much, dude. Glad you were here to see the end, or if you were here for longer. But yeah. Yeah, like I kind of suspected it Azats, because like I kind of got a hint of it, that like I saw him do something before I staggered him, but I wasn't totally sure what it was, because, you know, he's not guaranteed to do Elden Stars, right? So yeah, that was very, very lucky. Yeah, thanks, Archer. Concerned that you would get no stagger, but it did stagger. Yeah. Like I was really sure it was gonna stagger then, because I had been getting like lots of charge R2s there, and it kind of felt like the right time. Oh my goodness. TP from neutral after staring is always terrifying and Radagon. Oh, is that what happened? Okay. Yeah, and then what is it? Although I did roll one fast teleport, and like sometimes when you roll the fast teleport, or like, you know, sometimes after the fast teleport he does insta darts, and if you roll the fast teleport a little bit late, you won't be able to roll the insta darts. So like he could have maybe screwed me there, because like I think I'm not supposed to like ever roll the fast teleport, but I did, because, you know, I'm not like a perfect guy. So we might have gotten a little bit lucky, but yeah, that was just very well played all around. As a Mesorid doesn't 10, yeah. Alright, Sprout, I have this kind of fight the boss skill. Yeah, I mean, all it takes is just like practice, dude. Like practice and like a lot of... I mean, yeah, there's practicing the bosses, and then there's like doing the bosses in live runs. Because like those are like, you can't really practice doing the bosses in live runs. Like you just kind of have to like develop that skill over, you know, the course of many attempts, and I've been doing that for a while now. Oh my gosh, dude, so nice to have this done today, because like you guys have no idea how excited I am to do all remembrances, just because like there's so many more bosses, and there's like more running sections, and just like everything's really interesting with this restriction set. Like I get to do really cool strats, and I don't know, I like fighting the bosses and stuff. Like even Fia's Champs has, you know, there's like a certain uniqueness to it, right? Like, you know, just, and it's not even like that crazy. There's still some stuff I need to work out, but, you know, it's like a different kind of fight, and I've been getting better at all these kind of fights past the past however long. Yeah, I might take like a little break, get some water, grab a snack, and then yeah, I think we're gonna make I made some adjustments to my all remembrances route, and I think we'll follow those through and make new save states soon. But yeah, that'll be today. Oh my gosh, dude, that was so good. I'm so happy I like went through with it, because like yeah, because like I could have failed at like so many points. Not that I was likely to, but, you know, just that it's possible to fail, right? And like it's happened before, you know, like when I was getting my all bosses mini bosses, like I had practiced all the bosses like for even longer than this, and I still like had like a brain fart on Ishin. But yeah, this time I got a little bit lucky with Elden Beast and everything, but like holy shit, dude, it was just very good performances today. 202, dude, and that was with the cutscene. Like that was probably sub 2 hours without the end cutscene, dude. Oh my gosh.